What's up, y'all? It's your boy Blue Styles Big. What up, what up, what up, and what up? Salute to my brothers.
Absolutely.
Gunner, what up?
Tad, what up?
My brother Tad.
What we doing,
Make
OG
sure you
Wisdom?
check out the OG Wisdom podcast. You know what I mean? We're in it live and raw from a Val Lagoon. Good show, my niggas. I love y'all.
Most of our leaders come out of organizations. You have to be a part of an organization to be an effective leader. But how do we determine if you're an effective leader if you don't organize the people? You can't just grab the mic or your phone, get on YouTube and say, yo, I'm a good leader because I think I'm a good leader. You have to have a track record of organizing people, setting goals and agendas and getting them done.
Yeah. Politicians I don't really like. Activism is different because, you know, you got a goal. It has nothing to do with politics. When you are activist, you know, it's for your people.
Make sure y'all get ready to tune in to my brother, my big brother, C Gutter and Tad, new podcast, OG Wisdom. Better tune in to that. A lot of jewels, a lot of knowledge, a lot of lifestyle, a lot of street talk, a lot of hood tales, real stories. Check it out. OG Wisdom, Tad, C Gutter.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, and my brother C Gutter. Today, we have two returning guests, our brother Oba and our brother Knowledge Born Allah. Fat Joe made some comments recently that were kind of disparaging. And we want to get the take of what the brothers have to say. So coming to the stage first, we got our brother Knowledge Born Allah. Knowledge Born, you there, bro? Peace to the God. Peace, brother Knowledge Born. Can you hear me?
Peace, Uncle Chad. What's going on?
Everything smooth, everything smooth. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
All right.
If people don't see you, they don't see that $1 million face, man.
All right. Well, I'm about to change that in a minute. You know, I'm about to switch my cameras. I got one camera on. I need another camera on right now. All right. And also we have our brother Oba. Brother Oba, give me the thumbs up when you're ready, King. All right. Coming to the stage, our brother Oba.
What's going on?
I see Gutter. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready for the 1-2, bro. I can't see Gutter backstage, but Gutter showing off a little bit. I ain't gonna mess with But what do y'all brothers think about the whole Fat Joe incident? Because before we go too deep, I would like to play a clip just to keep the people abreast of what it is.
Yeah, play the clip. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So without further ado, we about to go to the clip. Give me 1 second while I bring that up. And we watch my brother Gutter get it together behind the scenes. All right, just bear with me, family. Here we go.
And what I say is that that's similar to me. I remember the first time I heard Eric being rocked in with don't, and we went to what's called now where A Boogie and them is from, right? But at that time it was on University Avenue. We had to take like 2-3 trains from the 5 and 2 to the 4. And then you get off at Burnside and you got to walk up that big ass hill.
Burnside.
There's one thing, you drive that hill. You walk that motherfucker. Oh my God. Like it felt like the Warriors when you like, and so we on the other side. It's almost like being in California, you know, from where I'm from. At that time, we ain't know no car. We taking trains for hours. And that's where we saw the WAP for the first time. And they was playing that shit, boom, boom. And back in the days, you know, and we studying them and we trying to do the dance. We took that bitch back home. That next day we went to the Park Jam. They doing that Eric B. and Rakim, and we start doing the WAP. Yeah. And everybody start studying the WAP. I mean, you know, back in that day, it was more word of mouth.
Yeah,
So
it's the only way it can is word of mouth or the phone with the spin back.
That made me think of an ill story, right? And so part of being a great storyteller is you tell your wins and you tell your losses. You know, and you got to be able to, if you know, you got to have the people tune in where they feel like they there, right? So I come from a project called Godsville, right? So
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them.
also, it was like the Mecca of the 5%ers. So I was the God Crack Kim, great God Allah.
Yo.
Nah. Yo, I'm telling you what it is, right?
Crack Kim is crazy.
You gotta, listen. You gotta think.
What is this?
Listen. Yo, you gotta think. There's no other way to do it. You gotta think. Y'all, everybody go check out this movie. Back in the days called Fresh. You gotta think Chucky.
Remember Fresh? Bust the funky dope move.
But think Chucky from Fresh. That's
He
Fat
live in
Joe.
Doss Ferry right now. We found it because I ain't my man that's in Fresh. The Fresh he used to work out with us. He moved to Cali now. But when we got
I gotta
him,
meet
we
him.
looked
I gotta
for
meet Chucky.
We didn't meet him. We just found him. He's in Doss Ferry.
So you ain't
Chucky. If you watch this show, come on in.
Yo, I gotta meet Chucky. So Fat Joe is Chucky for French. There's no way around. In real life, that's what he was. The fucking punish his. Wild out just every fucking time, right? And so I grew up. My projects 90% black, 10% Puerto Rican. It is what it is. So the gods be in there, and I'm Chucky for Fresh. Like, yo, get the fuck up out of here. They building, trying to do the cipher. I'm saying ham, salami, and bacon. Or I'm fucking with everybody, right? So you got the gods from Section 5, Co-op City, Patterson Projects. All the gods know they come to my projects. Was the Mecca, Godsville, and he was I was the annoying fat Puerto Rican nigga that would fuck with everybody. So he said, yo, you ain't God body, but you know, you bear witness, God. The God crack. Yeah, I'm the God crack Kim. Great God Allah. Y'all know it's right. So if you want the picture, this is what it is, right?
On Allah. Gutter, you ready, bro? Yeah, brother, hope y'all ready. Yo, audience, we want to thank y'all for being with us. We had the full content. We want to show diluted.
It's hilarious.
Yo, shout out to Fat Joe, man. Shout out to Fat Joe. The Crack Kim, great God Allah. Yo, Gutter, what's today's mathematics, dog? What's the science?
What's today's day?
Keep crying.
Today's date is the 12th. Is it the 12th? 13th? Knowledge, understanding. All being board the culture.
All right. How you see today's mathematics, Gaul? Now, you ain't got to answer that, Gutter, but I'm just... Gutter, what's your first thought? Is this your first time seeing this video?
Yeah, now I kind of understand where once he said the little fat nigga from Fresh, then I understood exactly what he said with the Crack Kim Allah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But do you think the
people got to see the movie to really understand where he's coming from? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Even though because you had mad little niggas that was like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was one of them little niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But now I want to point out the misinformation too, because I get it. I get the Chucky, the Fresh, because actually they did part of that in Farragut Projects in my family's building. Shout out to everybody in Farragut. That's when homie went to save the girl. And remember, the dog was killed on Willoughby and Clausen. That corner building.
I was in jail for all that shit.
Right. Remember, a lot of this was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
A lot of Fresh was shot in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know that. I was seeing certain spots that I knew that was the hood.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn, yeah.
But yeah, like I was in prison, but like because I had like in the movie I hated that little nigga. You know what I'm saying? I hated the character because you do have look like and damn. Because
I won't go too far into the movie, but I get what you're saying.
I like see to a degree, you know, you do shit to degrees, but that little nigga was like over the top, so he's a dick rider.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to paint that on Joe. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, you know, like like he say when the dude was doing the dumping funky dope moves, he just wanted to be down with everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just paint Joe as a straight dick rider. You know what I'm saying? But within our culture, you know, most times that's what he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just want to be down so much that he's doing all type of goofy shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, brother, Knowledge born, right?
Yes, indeed.
Born and raised in the culture.
I believe that's very important.
He's going to have a very different reaction.
I believe this is very, very important, and I'm glad that you played the clip to give the full context because you know they were throwing around the soundbite, right?
Right.
If I was on your block, Tad, and I had a Raiders hat on,
right,
and I didn't know what it was, I just seen people with Raiders gear on. I don't know what that means, but I got it on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I could be exposed to a penalty or reward based upon that gear. You know what I'm saying?
Misrepresentation.
Right. So now he's telling this story from his vantage point based off of who he was and who he is. Neither way of the variance for him meant anything to him other than what it meant to him at the time when he saw it, right? So cultural misappropriation based off of his inability to gain access. All he had to do was go ask what was going on instead of seeking to infer. So when he said, you're not one of us, but you bear witness. So you checking us out, you saying what we doing, and that's all the relationship has been. So the beautiful part and the awful part of that is instead of him inquiring or them actually pulling him in and having him actually do the knowledge,
right?
He still is in earshot of it, being sparked by it. So his world was just described as going to go see Rakim Allah, right? Taking mad trains and all that to go see that, to go get the WAP and bring the WAP dance back to the projects away from.
Yeah, I thought
so he's not even bringing those two worlds together. But Rakim Allah coming in the name of Allah, and those people that's in his projects coming in the name of Allah, and all the gods coming to this central point and pylon for them to actually build. He's associating with it as a grown man, or from his child recollection. So there was no elevation in it, regardless of how long you've been around whomever, whatever. So this becomes important, and he's showing his level of participation based off of that. So if he's seeing some cats scrambling in his projects, and his interaction with the gods was that deviant behavior, degenerate behavior, that's his association forever. And that's been something that we had to fight for many years. We heard the gang situation. If you locked up, you considered a security threat group. I was in the military. They called it a deviant organization. You have to understand, like, this thing go from the street all the way to the military. People can say whatever they want about Lord Jamal. Lord Jamal was on Vlad TV, and Vlad was reading something that somebody sent him about us being typecast with a terrorist group. Now they done shitting on Lord Jamal over the years. You understand what I'm saying? But then he said, "Oh, I don't mess with that no more. I don't mess with." No, my culture doesn't teach that. That's something that was important. You understand what I'm saying? He said, "My culture don't teach that. No, we're not terrorists. We deal with things in the community." So from our inception to now, despite some of the stuff you might see from some fools running around here being degenerate, they don't get the entire say on our organization or on our way of life.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So we got unalike versus a-alike.
A-alike.
So
I want Brother Oba to jump in here too, because I'm gonna let you go in, Knowledge Born, but I want to get, because we just Brother Oba, you see that clip? Is that your first time seeing it?
The whole thing, yeah. I saw the soundbite before,
and that's why I didn't put the soundbite. I put the video up and let it play from the WAP.
Mm-hmm.
We know how important the WAP was to hip hop too. It was transformative in hip hop and what they were talking about. But what was your thoughts now that you see it in its entirety? Just that part.
It's the effects of culturalization of things. So, you know, like when you're around people and you might not be a part, like I was saying, you might not be a part of it, but you are affected by the vernacular and the aesthetic of it because it's in your area. So it's the same thing for the gang niggas. You might grow up in a blood hood or something like that, and you might not necessarily know all of the codes and all that, but certain things you're gonna be familiar with because the people around you talk like that. So when I was growing up, I gotta say that when I was a kid, it really had that. It didn't have that much effect on me because like all of the older dudes, that's kind of how they spoke. So they all spoke with either blood or God. Yeah, peace, blood, or what up, God, right? And it was just a part of the vernacular. Even my name. So my name is Oba. But just the way that the guards get a hold of it, my name was Obar in the neighborhood because they're going to put the R on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's the young guard. So yeah. I didn't know what, you know, and like I said, it's not until I got to like juvie that it really, I understood like all of the nuances of it. You know, because I went to school with niggas they was born God. You feel me? They was born with righteous names. You know, and they had certain, you know, things, behavior, like they wouldn't eat, you know what I'm saying, drink the milk. They'd rip the thing off the milk. Like, what's up? Why you rip that off? Like, nah, son, that's swine. You feel me? Like, you pick up little nuances. Now, right. Even with my religion, like, even with Orisha in places like Cuba, everybody that's Cuban ain't necessarily part of the religion, but because it's all around them, they have the vernacular of it. And so it's culturalized to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of the environment that they come from. So I can understand where Joe coming from, where being like, you know, because it was always some Puerto Rican guards around. You feel me? That's and you know, like for him to be in the projects, and that was the Mecca for the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? For Pelon, yeah, you got to be a part. You're gonna be around that shit. Now, I understand from the religious. From the secular perspective of you putting something like crack in a righteous name.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? I understand why they would be like, yo, son,
yeah, that's nuts.
Like, you feel me? But that's a thing that maybe within his area, they may have accepted it, like you said, because he just was an ignorant little Puerto Rican kid that was outside. You feel me? So you can't just give him a universal beatdown every day. Like he with the shits. So, you know, it becomes a part of the culturalization. I don't think
he would have been one of the little dudes that took the ass whipping literally every day. Right. Like the way he describes himself as a little dude, like he literally would have took the ass whipping every day.
And kept on being an asshole.
Yeah,
like.
And kept being, and still want to be cool with niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would have like that, and that's what it like it's so crazy how the hood is like and it probably happened. He probably got whooped a couple times before niggas was like, man, leave that little nigga alone, man.
You know what I'm saying?
He not gonna listen, you know what I'm saying? Let him stay around. Maybe he'll catch on.
But now let me
like the God was saying, like Knowledge Born was saying, like maybe he'll catch on.
Right.
You know
But
what
now
I'm saying?
check this out, Gutter. I want to add this because you brought up a good point. They might have plucked them out. But at what point in your development, because this is a grown man, 50-something years old now, you know there's a certain level of respect you have to have when you speak about the nation of gods and herbs. Even if you're telling the story, you got to start qualifying it. At what point do we take it serious? For those of us who know the lessons and came up in the culture and around the culture, like, you don't think there's a point where he has to start putting respect on the name? Say, yeah, I was playing around. Because we know if you didn't know the lessons you was playing, like you said, he probably got plucked out. But I mean, he Fat Joe. He's Mr. Untouchable. Never lost a fight. Was cutting 7-foot men when he was 8 years old. Like, who just came home. He's Super Joe.
This is the thing. This is you gotta learn. This, like I said, we in the internet age, bro. So dudes know them catchwords and catchphrases and shit like that. I'll give you a perfect example with this shit with Jim and Nas. Right. Listen to what Jim said. He said, I know how to go viral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen to the shit he's saying. He's like, yo, we're in the internet age. Boom, 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 boom. Even though, like, the shit he's saying is ridiculous. Just like the shit Joe's saying. He know it's gonna catch the audience. Yeah. I think like I think he figured out is like, man, niggas catching me in lies is like, fuck it. Nigga, I'm gonna make this shit work. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna say some outlandish shit. Kiss is gonna make a face or some shit like that, or slap his
face. Like I feel bad for Kiss.
I'd be like, and that's what's gonna make it pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Fat
like
Joe.
Kiss is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Kiss is gonna be like, oh, what is this nigga doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
so now you going crazy Joe on me.
No, but I will say this though.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a tactic. And like I said, he know he gonna get some backlash. But you gotta like I said, this shit is fully entertainment now, bro.
Yeah.
Like everybody spice up their stories, my nigga.
Well, you know what though? Even
you know what I'm saying? And like I ain't gonna say everybody spice up their stories, but them dudes that get in that position like that and they see spicing up a story, make this shit go viral. Look, Jim said some shit that he knew was ridiculous, my nigga. Check the billboards, check the stats and all that.
Hoping that nobody would do that.
No,
but we in the internet age. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You in the information age. So why would you say some shit like that?
Right.
Because you know, like he already knew
the attention.
He already knew the attention built from somebody else. So he all right, I'm gonna take this and use it.
Yeah. Brother Oba, you was gonna add on to Gutter's point?
Yeah, what I was trying to say is that at this point, if you really from that time and from that era, you kind of retired all of that shit, and it doesn't really matter, right? I think he took a page out of 50's book there. It's like, it don't matter what they say. They're going to have something to say, so I might as well capitalize off of it. You feel what I'm saying? Because, I mean, from my personal experience, I've been around Fat Joe as a little nigga when I was with the shits, and I can tell you that he got that look, and he be on point. Feel me? Like, he's whatever that street shit, that shit is in him, my nigga. Like and so at a certain point, that shit is retirable at this point. It don't make no money.
This is the thing. Like I said, look what I said when I said about the shit being around the guards. He would have been one of them little niggas that get whooped out every day and don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't care. You know what I'm saying? Not like, hey, fuck that, nigga. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it,
right.
Bro. I know I'm like to a degree, I was that little nigga. Like I didn't be disrespectful, but I was annoying. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like I don't have no older brothers and none of that shit. So and I don't care. Like you talk about you gonna whoop my, you got to. That's what you got to do. Nigga, I crack jokes all day.
Right.
Literally. That's like since I grew up. Like anybody that knows me. Because a lot of people don't know me. They think I'm just this serious. No, I crack jokes all day, nigga. I got this is what I did since I was a little kid, my nigga. What got me in trouble in class because I was a brilliant student, but that's what got me in trouble in class, cracking jokes, doing little, you know what I'm saying? I was the class clown, but I was very intelligent. And that was the same way in the streets. Nigga, when I was around killers, nigga, I'm roasting them. Nigga got some big ass feet or some shit like that. I'm roasting. I don't care nothing about none of that, my nigga. I'm roasting you. So
chase a little badass gut up the block. Like
you got to remember also, you going back to an age where, you know what I'm saying, dudes is ignorant.
Right.
For the most part. He's talking about he's 14, 15.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. He's a tether.
Yeah. Gutter, because I want to go back. This is why I played the part about the WAP too. Because it all ties in. The influence of the Nation of Gods and Earth, the impact that had on us as black kids and / men, the older dudes who's older than us.
Look what he said. He said 90% black, 10% Puerto Rican. That's just like if you go to Tompkins, Sumner, you know what I'm saying? Around there where you got a population of Puerto Ricans, even LG. You see what I'm saying? It's a few Puerto Rican dudes and everybody. Yeah, and some of them look white as shit.
Yeah, well, some of them are. Some of them are when we start.
No, I'm saying, but you know, they got some niggas like you go to Abuela and all that and Tio and all that. It's a nigga floating around. It's some niggas floating around. You dig what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is they're not enculturated into the Spanish culture as much as they are into the black culture.
Right. Because of the proximity.
The same thing with certain white boys. But certain white boys grow up in the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But let me ask, is that cultural appropriation? Because now the way Fat Joe was saying it, like his projects was Godville. I don't know, and he said the Mecca. He ain't say the Bronx. He didn't say my projects in the Bronx.
I think he was saying the Mecca in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
I
think that's how he was speaking. Like,
you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? You're not like I'm not defending any of his actions, like or none of the tethers actions. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm not letting the God slide though neither. Though.
Yeah.
That's the point. I'm not moving away from that.
But you got to think about this too, homie. It's like you definitely had some guards that was on bullshit. Nigga, I was one of them.
And they're still on it right now. A vast majority of the people, this is the part. This is something that I live. This is how I raised my children. You understand what I'm saying? It's something different than this is something I inherited. I didn't go, you know what I mean? My father, my mother, everybody came up in this from the religion to the science. So this is something that
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So there's a difference. There's a level of accountability that got to come back to us.
That's why I said.
So if I'm out there,
it's gonna be totally different because you grew up within the nation.
Yeah,
like, you didn't come.
But the culture exists, and it's a cultural universal for everybody. Once the rap industry got a hold of what was going on, based off of certain people. Now it becomes vernacular. That's everybody using the same vernacular, but nobody really doing.
I understand what you're saying. No,
you wouldn't. But it still is used as a source of light. It's a source of light. So poor righteous teachers, brand new being all these things came as a source of light to spread it around the globe. However, if you're not in tune with somebody to walk you through this particular culture, you don't have anything. You understand? So it's all good.
It's the vernacular.
My educator said everybody God to Allah show up. So when Allah show up, we're gonna see who God is for real. You understand what I'm saying? So this is something that people lived, people was tortured, and in the penal institution, typecast, in job situations. Like I said, I was in the military. You can forget about it. You understand? You can forget about it. You a hate group? Are you calling me the devil? Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so literally that type of interface. Folks they're not walking in that. I could just say, yo, peace to the gods. You know what I'm saying? I'm God body in the song, and then it's supposed to be all love till somebody asks you about some blessing. You understand what I'm saying? Or you not conducting yourself in the way that's righteous. They'll talk all of that talk, but how they living? You understand? Like I said, You could tell me the autobiography of Malcolm X changed your life, and I don't see no change in your life. Oh, so these lessons that this, I don't see it in your walk and your talk for most of the people who out here interfacing. So they still, they really niggas disguised as God. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't go from niggas to God. They didn't make that no transition. They might have took on a righteous name and they went back to this. Something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners. In my hood, everybody was a 5%. You're like, you hear that? Like that's a vernacular. That's something that he witnessed because that's something that he came up in. But who holding true to it? What does that mean? You understand what I'm saying? So we looking at street signs and we looking at TV shows and all that. So now they looking at this like this is pop culture like everything else. So again, I'm taking accountability saying we are not doing our duty as civilized people anymore. We no longer doing our duty to the degree to where something like this it's not laughable.
Well,
if this your culture, it ain't laughable.
I don't
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think the guards not doing their duty. It's just that you got to remember, we in the media space. You understand me? Where they control the media. So the people that's put in the front will be exactly those people that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, infiltrate that. And unless a dude is living it, you know what I'm saying? If a dude is actually living, you know what I'm saying, living what he's saying, he's a poor righteous teacher, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get pushed to the side. Just like when you see an artist, just like when you see an artist like get super black. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't never instilled that in his records from the beginning, know what the media gonna do?
Jam up.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if he always put that, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's telling you, like I give you an example, like SP.
Right. Shout out to Styles.
Yeah, SP will tell you this what I'm supposed to been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, nigga, my demons got me doing this.
Right. Gutter, I want you to stop right there because this was I wanted to go. At what point, and shout out to Styles P, who's doing phenomenal dope stuff. I haven't seen it. We did an interview with Styles a couple of years back. We got to get him again, Gutter. You can check it out on our channel. But at what point do it go from just being street vernacular, some pop in the dude, the media says it, everybody into it, to getting back to it being part of our sacred science as black men, as God bodies, as people who's supposed to be aspiring to. Oba, you want to touch on this?
Yeah, well, see,
when do we go from being just street back to the sacred science, to where Knowledge Bone was saying you really can't play with it?
Well, the thing is that we forget that the machine, which is the industry, whether in the industry, I mean music, entertainment, all that, right? They have a knack for extracting out of our cultures what they want, right? That it becomes so. Like, for instance. So that get sturdy shit that the little niggas do, and they be doing that little dance and all that, right? That shit comes from drill. That's their shit. But you put that in the video, and now some kid in America is doing that shit, and he has no idea that shit come from these niggas. They spinning because they're spinning the block, but he don't understand it because he just sees it. And so the machine is good at doing that. It like the Wu-Tang, it made that whole thing popular. Peace God. You know what I'm saying? Niggas some karate shit. That was a part of our culture as
especially the 80s.
70s and 80s. We grew up
70s,
with that
80s, that was our culture.
Driving through theater. We hear that, oh, niggas like, oh shit. That shit was what immediately drew niggas to the Wu-Tang, right? So they
was in the house at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, the safest time is when video music boxes.
Nobody was outside.
When the cartoons and the motherfucking karate movies is on, you can walk the streets
that's
at that
it,
time.
Bro. That's even school time.
Yeah,
nigga, when Transformers and all that shit came on, nigga, I wouldn't care what you was doing. Nigga, Joe and all that shit. And this is crazy, like. You know how anti-black that shit is.
Right.
We was in the crib for that and Video Music Box. Right after that, Video Music Box.
Yeah, music box. That's the safest time to
3
travel.
hours, niggas is in the crib.
That's why I left the WAP part in there, because I want to revisit the WAP. But again, but we was talking about the sacredness. You was talking about Wu-Tang and its connection.
Well, the machine, it has the ability to. So let's think about the fact that when I was a kid, I couldn't say ain't and certain things like that, or my bad. And that shit is in the dictionary now.
Right.
What we do as black people, we fuel the world with culture and trends and style. That's what we sell to the world. You know, when we put on you got to remember, I don't care where you came from in the world. When you come to America and you put a baseball cap on and you put it backwards and you put some sneakers and some jeans, you are imitating niggas. Period.
Right.
You feel me?
I mean, this been going on for years.
With culture. You feel me? They say if they got rid of us, what would they do? They ain't got shit to do. They don't know. They'll kill themselves.
Well, they're gonna die out. They're gonna kill each other.
You feel me? So we give them a culture that they figure out what parts are extractable, that they can market and sell to the rest of the world. You feel me? From blues to jazz, rock and roll,
country,
hip-hop, funk, disco, everything that we've created, they've figured out a way to extract
what's that shit? What's that shit called? Bluegrass.
Bluegrass, yeah, all of that shit is African.
Yeah, all that shit
comes from. Yeah,
but let me ask you now, because y'all going to where I want to go.
You got to remember this too, like the people they stole so many people, bro.
Right, and I want to get there, Gutter.
Stole so many people that you stole you stole
but
a large part of the creators, the inventors,
right. And hold on, Gutter, right there. That's where I wanted to go.
You got this. You got the spiritual. You took half of the spiritual wealth of Africa, and that's why wherever we went, whether it's the Caribbean, here, South America, look what happened.
But this is what I want to say now, because this is important. This is back to the sacredness and the street thing. Since we know that our culture has been colonized and weaponized and commercialized, we know that our culture has always been our protective barrier for enemies outside. Like, our culture is our fence, it's our fort, it's our wall. At what point do we start protecting it and start letting people infiltrate it? Or do we just let them commercialize it because now it's popular? Because we know that this is a literal war. Like you said, Gutter, people have been taken, people have been deleted. As Knowledge Born said, people have literally been tortured. So for some of us, it's not a game. It's a popular thing. We've seen rappers join gangs. 1 minute they blood, then they turn Crip, and then come to find out nobody put them on. It's just that they got access and they got exposure because they're part of the media machine. But for dudes who are generations in this culture, they don't think of it as a game. They literally lost best friends, siblings, parents, children to the culture. At what point do we take back our culture and make it sacred again and just stop letting people run them up with it?
Knowledge.
And Ball 733, it is not a cult. Do some research. But go ahead.
I mean, you got to think it's gonna be tough, bro.
Go cook, got it.
It's gonna be tough, but because the job they done put on niggas is vicious. It's like so many people want to be part of the larger society as opposed to sticking to theirs, and then the ones that's within the society, within our community, is not getting educated. So it's shit like this that's normalized. You know what I'm saying? So, but what we got to do is like we gotta like. You got to cut ties.
Yeah. And that's why.
Or run down.
You got to cut ties.
Cut ties and run down. There's some things, right? Yeah. And as long as the 10% look like the 5%, the 85% gonna be confused, and the 5% gonna be misrepresented. The variance in degree between 10 and 5%, and I'm talking about these lessons. Who are the 85, 10, and 5% on the four-parted planet Earth? Who are they? So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave a description of the characteristics and traits. So you don't have a culture if you can't distinguish what right look like and not. You understand what I'm saying? In the military, they say if you don't correct the standard, like if you don't correct a deficiency, you just created a new standard. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't deal with it in the way you're supposed to deal with it, you're gonna have to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? So it catches more like roaches than anything. So if they see something, they run it down on that, and that becomes the new thing. So just like whatever, Oba was talking about in regards to, the slang terminology, providing that culture from whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy work. I didn't know what it was, a couple of months ago. Now everybody and their mother is talking crazy work. You understand? So I understand how these things become fluid and they take shape and form and they go. But who's using it to shield their dirty religion? That 10% on the four-parted planet Earth, that variance between 5 and 10 is only 5%. That's a subtle change. It ain't me being me. Then you see me in the 85% change where I'm a crackhead, I'm a derelict, I'm a degenerate out here running around. You understand? That's a visible, noticeable change. So if you knew me as God and I'm on some other stuff now, you would have to really see that whole thing metamorphosized into a place where it's completely degenerate. But if I'm still appearing to be true and living, and you don't know the distinction between the poor righteous teacher and the rich slave maker of the poor, what am I doing with what I know? You understand what I'm saying? What am I doing with what I know?
Especially if you're financially successful.
That's it. Right? That's the illusion. So in the lessons, it says the trader made an inner orientation saying that they will receive more gold for their labor more than they were earning in their own country. So now, if you look at that in the historical context, if you look at a Mansa Musa went around flossing. We all from the projects. You understand? You can't come around flossing. They be like, yo, where'd you get that? Oh, where? We going over there. You understand? So, like, all of that work like that. So again, the rich slave makers of the poor benefit of the, from the dumb, deaf, and blind because they just go wherever the wind blows. Oh, we trending with this today. We trending with that today. We this today. We that today. That don't even matter, right? So the 5% who don't believe in the teachings of the 10%, you basically almost pulling your hair out here. Like, yo, they was just good yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? You come back the next day. But all of your interface, they're not watching what you say alone. They're watching what you do. So if you out here with a dirty religion and they find it, they're like, oh, you ain't no different than us. You understand? When Lord Jamal went on Oz, if y'all remember the Oz show, the description Buddy gave on who the 5% was, they got a hold of it. And people been running around with it ever since. So many have come with the flag. Many have come with all of that. But what is in their ways and action? You understand what I'm saying? How do they speak and then how do they interface? You understand what they do, what they say, and what they do? Is it congruent with who they say they are? You know what I mean? So as long as somebody can shield that and make it look, make that unalike look alike, then we're going to get caught up in that. We're going to have to deal with those kind of things. It's many, like a rapper don't got nothing, no sort of authority in regards to how this culture is. They got it like they got hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't get to get the monopoly of the say on what this culture is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I don't want to go too far right? Because you brought up the hip hop artists, and of course, again, Fat Joe sparked this conversation. Again, shout out to Joe and Jada. This ain't even, for me. It's not a personal attack against Fat Joe. I think this is an important conversation, right? Because you brought up the rappers. Fat Joe is a legendary rapper. Can't take that from
allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, he's done things in the culture, big things, right?
Yeah, you said rapper though. That's a guy.
Right, but you was bringing up the point of rappers. That's what Fat Joe was the point of the topic. So at what point, because he told a phenomenal story. I left in the WAP because for us four right here and those listening, the Gen Xers, the people who were there, we know how significant the WAP and Rakim Allah is, and ushering the lessons, the whole cultural climate in New York City, because this wasn't in Charleston, South Carolina, or Atlanta, Georgia. This is some New York stuff, and we was there from its foundation. With Fat Joe being part of the soil, you said the rappers. At what point do we go from paying homage from somebody who could bear witness to a hustle? Because, like you said, we got to be the protectors. So, was he paying homage, or was he just hustling to, as you say, commodify, or you know what I'm saying, just get paid off it?
I think it was a few people that commodified it. You know what I mean? I think it was a few people that commodified it, and you know what I mean, just did it because they know it was a wave at a time,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or doing some like nostalgic shit, like bringing back the '80s, because that was what was prevalent in the '80s. So
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, we had people that like took advantage of it. You know what I mean? And like tapping into the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They think I can't speak for, you know what I'm saying, they mental,
right?
But it's like they like this is like a tap into the culture. It's like, but
so is it homage? Is it homage?
Yeah, it's not. It's like it's homage, but is actually.
Or is it revisionist history?
Well, can I say this? Can I
you
say
see what I'm saying?
Can I say that the entire culture has become exploitative?
Okay.
Even into the hood. Like everybody's exploiting everybody. You're trying to give another little nigga a pack to sell so that he might get bagged that you don't give. That's exploitation, right? And it's a part of the exploitation of black culture from the very beginning. There used to be a time where they used to have to come into the swamp to hear what the fuck we was doing. Now, because of all of this Black Mirror shit, we got
they ain't even got to be around us.
Yeah,
so
them niggas
they don't even got to
export it right to them. You feel me?
They don't even got to. They don't even have to. Like, you got to think about it, Tad. In our era, if you caught a white dude in the city, I'm speaking in the city, that nigga know everything.
Yeah,
you're not catching him slipping. He know not to get caught slipping.
Right.
Them niggas was with the culture, you know what I'm saying? Even though they outsiders, and they knew they was outsiders. You know what I'm saying? But they was like, no, I listen to this dude. I listen to, you know what I'm saying? They up on their shit, but so because you had to be there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The white boys, like I said, I can only speak of New York, a little bit.
They're in proximity.
I have family in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Proximity. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah. We exported it to the rest of the country.
Listen, we had to be around.
Yeah.
Nigga, if we wasn't around, we didn't know certain motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You got to think about it at that time.
That's why our phrase come in. Who mans is this? Is this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know this dude. Who is he's around us?
Yeah.
He's around us. Somebody had to bring him around. Whose mans is this?
Even if you think about our mentality of our era was no face, no case, right? So we didn't film nothing. If there was a camera around from the time that when we was really outside, our era was outside, that shit is content like a motherfucker.
Nah, this is the thing. Because dudes did the camcorder thing and all that, but you know what it was? It was literally at cookouts or something like that.
Right.
It wasn't like niggas wasn't coming on no block.
Right. And if something gets stirring, niggas put the camera down. Now, soon as it happens,
no, because he know he's gonna get hurt. Because you gotta think about it. Like, unless he was that nigga on the block.
No, let me tell you, one day,
and then it's some shit where, like, if he filming something, ain't nothing going down. Because
but let me tell you, one day
but 9 times out of 10, it's just a dude in the hood. He might be a member of the, you know what I'm saying, of a clique.
Shout out to D-Dubs, used to have a camera in the hood.
Exactly.
That's how Doggy Diamond started with the camera in the hood.
That's what I'm saying. But they hood niggas, so they know not to
Right. They know what to record and what not.
They know what to record, when to record. Like they see, oh nah.
Let me tell you,
Close that joint quick, because remember the joints used to be like this. They close that joint quick. Yeah.
One day I was about that little club over there next to LG, right?
Brooklyn.
Now the little bar shit that they used to have down on that little side street.
Was that Sputnik?
Sputnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one day we was going in there and some dude got clapped and he was against the wall. And I just saw people like putting their phones up. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? They was like, yo, he got shot. I'm like, what you mean he got shot? And these niggas was recording this nigga while he
instead of calling 911.
I'm like, yo, call a fucking ambulance. Because their mentality was to record it before don't even help him. Leave him.
Viral.
Feel me?
You see, look, from the beginning, you see what I said? Viral.
Yeah.
That's dude's intentions now. That's why they'll say some wild, outlandish shit that they know they saying some outlandish shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this is what's gonna spark this.
And so let me say this real quick then, because it goes back to what I'm saying about exploitation and of our culture. Because here it is, somebody's clap, they on the floor leaking, but the value system has changed because we minimize the value in the culture and put more value in the media presence of it all. So we just want a viral moment real quick. Oh, he bleeding. Let me be the first one to put this on Instagram. So people will click on my video, my likes will go up, I'll become popular, maybe famous. Meanwhile, here's another life that's potentially bleeding out. And rather than help this life, my value is in the content and not just doing something simple as calling 911 to try to get this brother the help he truly needs.
It just happened recently. There's a case down here in Georgia where the girl got sent home from work. She came back with the knife and stabbed the manager up. Somebody had the fucking camera up. If you had your camera up, then you saw the bitch coming with the knife. You could have stopped the bitch.
Right. Tell the manager, run. She got a knife.
Run or grab that bitch.
That's
something matter.
I ain't getting in front of
their phone while the bitch is stabbing the bitch in the face. I'm like, y'all niggas is crazy.
Yeah. But again, the culture keeps us protected because the culture is our value system that set the standard for what's appropriate and inappropriate behavior. And now because we're so exploited that we don't even know the difference. We don't have a value system.
We don't. What it is people don't understand the difference. But like I said, and this is like the third show that I've said, people like these younger motherfuckers don't understand the difference between black culture and criminal culture.
Yeah.
That's
that's
what it is. It's like they're trying to uphold a culture that's not really our culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've been going through this trauma and people have resorted to doing criminal acts, you know what I'm saying, for survival in this country.
But hold on, let me say this though.
They don't understand that that's a small percentage of the whole.
Every time we
take strides, that's what gets sensationalized.
Right,
so
but every time we take strides, they push us back though. So nothing. Before, like right now,
say it again.
Every time we make a stride, they push us back further. So there was a moment, so when I was in high school, all of a sudden the clothing was, we went from polo and all of that shit to necessarily they started to dominate with like cross colors and these urban things that our people was getting the money, right?
Damage, yeah.
And then there was a moment where Rockaway and Sean John and that shit had that shit locked. And then all of a sudden I looked up and niggas is wearing this French shit and this Italian shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, nah, son, what happened? And so our value system about the things that we desire, the clothes, if we get out of that shit, if we get out of the fake diamonds and all of that bullshit, because the diamonds and shit, a nigga gonna be hungry and he gonna try his luck if you fucking put meat in front of a lion, right? Yeah. But when you get it in your mind that why do I need to get a fucking diamond chain? I'm already fucking a celebrity. As a celebrity, I shouldn't need that to bring the bitches. I got a face card.
That's you gotta understand. You gotta and this
knowledge used to be the jewelry.
This goes back to when Big was alive. I can't remember who said it, but we was around somebody. Motherfucker had the chain. The smaller chain though. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just a smaller. You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember. He was like, "Oh, you got the celebrity, you got the rapper starter kit on." You see what I'm saying? So that's literally like no, but it's not. That's part of black culture.
Yeah, and we got to get rid of that.
We
the mentality.
Not bro. That's just we've been doing that. Just like you said, Mansa Musa went and nigga, because I'm to be honest, and this is the only problem with it, is people value it too much. At the time of Mansa Musa, he didn't see the worldwide value of it. You understand what I'm saying? Look how he gave it out. But not understanding that you not dealing with yours. Now you're going to the outside world and you dealing with savages. Oh, I'm coming to get that. That's just bro. When I was a savage, I see you coming through shining. I'm coming to get that.
Well, you know what, you just gave me a thought, and this is a valid point you made. So as we talk about protecting the culture and the knowledge and information and all these things that's supposed to be valuable to us, who's to check these rappers that are taking our culture, since a lot of them are from the soil, giving it to a foreign culture, those who are gonna exploit us, the bloodsuckers of the poor, as Brother Knowledge brought up earlier. You know what I'm saying? Who's supposed to check these people like, bro, you know better than that? Because we respect Rakim now, and that's why he started with the WAP. Shout out to Rakim, great God Allah. That's a wild name, but we knew Rakim brought a specific value. He didn't smile too much. He took everything serious. He rapped without cursing. He didn't use profanity.
Yeah, the song called It Ain't No Joke. I ain't no joke.
Right, I ain't no joke. He set a higher standard for how we should behave, even though we knew this because we got those values from our parents. You know, when you go outside this house, you represent the family. Don't be acting the goddamn fool when you go outside. Somehow we lost it, but Rakim made it cool to be us again.
Like hold up, but the big homies failed us though.
Let's give it to him. Say it again.
The big homies failed us. So let's take the situation of the big youth.
Well, we can go, we can go on and on into big homies and grandfathers and all that shit, bro. That is like I said, we got to understand, bro. The machine, just like Knowledge Born,
but he wasn't. No, but this is
the machine is like, bro.
Why do you? No, but hear me out, Gutter. Hear me out for a second.
Why do you think the phrase "black fatigue"?
No, hear me out, Gutter. Hear me out for a second. Let me hear me out for a second. When you have a guy like a Big U, if with the power, if he's righteous, then he could be like, yo. Go to a rapper's video and be like, yo, son, you know you're not built like that, and you know you need to stop promoting that shit. Feel me? But them big homies got corrupted. They not doing what they supposed to do. They are chasing the same shit, worrying about the watch and all of that. And I'm gonna give you an example. From our hood, there were some guys that used to get money in our hood that when they went down, they just came home. When they went down, they went down. But when they was getting money, you would never know they was getting money because you never saw them in a car. They was riding Cannondale bicycles and shit like that. You feel me? They was keeping it low. That was my example of, if you getting some paper, you supposed to keep it on the low. You ain't supposed to let nobody know. Even in Harlem, they talk about Poe and this one and that one, but the dude who was getting all the money, they said if you saw him, you thought he was a bum. If you saw Fritz, you thought that he was a homeless nigga. But he was the one that was hitting everybody because he had already released himself of all of those desires of having a fly car. Because the point is, as a rapper, you're already the celebrity. You don't need the jewelry. You don't need the money because I am who I am. My face card is supposed to get me everywhere I want to go.
You got to remember, 99.9% of them, you got to think where you coming from. Like I said, the chain and the watch is the rapper's starter kit. If they don't have that,
we clear about that, but when do we change that?
Huh?
When do we change that? When do we be like, yo, son, that shit is corny? Because there was a moment when I was growing up that niggas wasn't wearing no gold. They had
when.
They had black
Yeah, the 80s, the late 80s, yeah.
Bro, niggas was wearing jewelry with the black medallions. Stop it.
Come on. No,
bro,
you trying to tell me that there was those
stop
it.
It wasn't no era in New York City where niggas ain't wear gold.
Nah,
stop.
Son.
Let's stop.
Nah.
I had black medallions, so I couldn't afford no gold.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was a time.
I'm with you, Uncle Ted. I still can't afford no gold right now.
No, but this is what I'm saying. That's only if you couldn't afford it. Let's be honest, bro. Like, there's no era in New York City where dudes forsake gold. Let's be honest.
Not forsake.
And I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna find no in the
city. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, Gutter.
Hood.
I'm gonna keep. Let me say this real quick. I believe it was 2000, 2001. I stopped wearing big jewelry. I did have a Slick Rick starter kit, and I stopped wearing it because I wish I could pull up the old pictures because of the negative energy it attracted. Somebody only tried to rob me one time. That was on Bedford and President. Shout out to them in 1997. Broke my hand on homie's face. Still got home with my chain. Women would walk up to me and just touch my chain to see how heavy it was. The energy that it attracted for me as I was developing to who I am now and still growing to be, it was negative. So I ain't gonna lie, I put all the jewelry up. That's just me. That's my story about gold. But I did forsake it at a point in my life.
What I'm not saying
individually, right? You saying it's collective.
I'm saying, like, name me an era in New York where dudes wasn't wearing jewelry. Come on, God, you can't. You can't. You what? 87, 88, 89, 90,
yes,
91, 92. Negative.
Niggas was wearing
negative
shirts and fucking dress slacks with Zodiac shoes. Stop, my nigga.
They was wearing what? What'd you say, Over? What they was wearing?
Paisley shirts with slacks and fucking and Zodiac shoes around.
You know how small of a group that was?
Nah, my nigga. What you
all them Kwame niggas? You talking about the Kwame niggas? Is you serious? You talking about the Kwame niggas? They was wrecked. Some of them was cool, my friends, but they was wrecked, my nigga. They was wrecked. Nobody was doing that shit with the big silver tip on the shoes and all. They was wrecked, my nigga.
Yeah, Chad.
I had friends that did that, but they were wrecked, my nigga. Come on,
that wasn't the culture. That wasn't what was on the video.
No, that was not the culture. That was a small minority. That was the Kwame niggas, my nigga.
Okay, and what was niggas wearing in contrast to that?
Huh?
Because they took over the game for like 3-4 years.
Yes, we was wearing Guess, Low. We was wearing Guess, Low. Jabot. Niggas was wearing Bows. Niggas was wearing Nike Air Max. I can tell you exactly. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why. You know why I know that's not true? Because if you went to Boys and Girls High School from '88, after that, you couldn't wear a gold chain in that school. That's a whole fact. They banned that shit from
Principal Mickens. Yeah.
You banning it from school. Everybody
not let you in the school if you had a gold chain on.
You talking about one school. My nigga, I went to Prospect Heights.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Prospect Heights. Niggas was heavy. A nigga got killed in '88 summer. First day of school. Cause like let's stop this, my nigga. Like, stop saying that everybody was like, that was a small section of the hip-hop community, my nigga.
But I think all the sections were small sections because both of y'all have a point. Because you have the Big Daddy Kanes, the Slick Ricks, the Rakims, who was heavy, but same token, you did have the Kwame, you had the Native Tongue.
No, but I'm not saying heavy, bro. Like everybody wasn't heavy. Like, absolutely nobody was. Like, how could you say everybody in New York was heavy? Come on, are you serious? I'm talking about people had jewelry though. Females,
but that shit went out with
earrings. Dudes was wearing gold chains, even if they weren't big, my nigga. Come on, let's like you're saying like
with the Judas star.
Like, no, we're not wearing no gold jewelry. All we're wearing is Africa. Are you serious?
What you talking about?
Huh?
There's a picture of LL with no gold chain with black medallions on.
I think that was
That's
Walk Like a
him.
Panther, wasn't it?
Come on, my nigga.
That's
Don't do
him.
that.
What the fuck you mean?
Because
Like,
y'all talking about
everybody followed LL. Like, come on, bro.
but that's
It's
what I'm
like,
saying.
Come on, like you're making it seem like, come on, my nigga.
You talking about a group of people from an area that makes something happen. At the end of the day, when most of the people are affected by what they are projected on, what they saw on the videos is what they followed. And during that time, niggas was not into no gold because this shit was on some Black Power shit. You had X-Clan, you had the Jungle Brothers, you had Tribe Called Quest, you had
Public
Bone
Enemy.
Love, you had Queen Latifah. They wasn't wearing no gold.
YZ, Laquan.
Bro, you're talking about in the rap industry. I'm talking about, bro. We're talking about, bro. I was in school in '88 as well. That was my last year. I just came home from being locked up, and I went back to school. So I was in school. I was in Prospect Heights, bro. If you go to 90% of the high schools in New York, I ain't even gonna say New York City. I can only speak on Brooklyn. And I went to a lot of schools in Brooklyn, my nigga, because I wasn't going to school. I was in school, but I wasn't going to school.
Right.
I went to almost all the high schools because that's what we did back then. Bro, you had the Jungle Brother house party looking ass Kwame niggas, which to a school you might have 20, 30 niggas.
Okay.
I think hold on. I'm gonna say this real quick.
Bro, you gotta remember. This is the low life era as well. You're talking about, and that's why I said I can't speak on nowhere else, but bro, I'm talking about this is the low life era. This is the low life era. Whether dudes was conscious or not, bro. You wanted to have some low or some Tommy or some Guess. You wanted to have some Dunks, some Jordans, or some fly sneakers, Diodoras, what because we more, but this is what I'm saying. And everybody wanted some jewelry.
I want to say this real quick because I like what Brother Rich Knight said.
Every young dude, everybody, I'm not saying everybody wanted the big gold rope, even though everybody probably did want it. You know what I'm saying? But he knew he couldn't what he could afford.
Right.
You want a chain. You want a bracelet, even if this is, bro. I had a little flat fucking herringbone, like the wide herringbone joint.
That was my
I showed that every chance I got. Look, what are you talking about, my nigga?
Let me say this. Hold on. Time, brothers. Time.
You're talking about truck jewelry, brother. That's what you're talking about.
Said it's powerful.
We're not talking about truck jewelry. I'm talking about this is just part of our thing.
Right. Because what Rich Knight said is true. Perspective is powerful. We should never speak in absolutes. And I think what we're talking about is our personal experience and our paradigm, especially with us as young people, remembering the world through juvenile lenses. We only remember our perspective as young people. When I talk about me being 16, I only saw the world as a 16-year-old. So my mind couldn't fathom the things I learned now. Like I tell people, I came into the movement through Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, peace be upon him. But when I sat around Dr. Khalid, he said a whole bunch of stuff that was way above my head. And I stayed out of grown folks' conversation, even though I was in my mid to late 20s. Perspective is powerful. And I want us as wise men to really keep that in mind as we move forward and have this friendly discord. Because I don't want people to think we beefing or nothing like that. But it is our perspectives. Because I remember both of y'all perspective is right. I remember dudes, I wanted a big chain, but I couldn't afford it. So I rocked the black medallion. You know what I'm saying? That's why I qualified when I didn't want to chain. It's because I had the chains. I had it, then I surrendered it. At one point when I got it, Gutter, that herringbone was my first chain. In 1992, my first big one with Jesus and the sheep. Like
I had the big herringbone bracelet that I took from somebody, to be honest. Like it wasn't purchased. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I'm saying. You wasn't jixing dudes. Gutter was throwing everything down.
What are you talking about? I was in juvie in '92. What are you talking about?
Oh shit, my bad.
What are you talking about? Nah,
I thought you were still in school.
Don't get it fucked up. What you
But
talking about?
like this is what I'm saying.
My bad, bro.
Nah,
this is what I'm saying is like
high school, my nigga. What are you talking about? Nah,
say it again,
I went to art and design high school. I went to high school. You gotta understand.
Who's your graduating class?
I was born in '77, but I went to high school early.
Okay, yeah.
Remember, me and Juicy was in Waves to Shoelay together.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rest in peace, my dude Juicy. Yeah.
First thing I ever saw bring a gun to school was that nigga in Juicy brought a fucking 20-gauge shotgun to school with tape with fucking what you gonna call the tape on it. I'm like, yo, son, you understand? By '92, I was already in fucking Highland.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, I didn't just come out and fall off the turnip truck. Nah, nigga, I've been outside.
92, I was on my second bed.
Yeah,
right, but I'm younger than you.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
right.
By 92, I was already
but that's
in
neither
jail.
here.
That's what it is about the perspectives. It's the age difference and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what, like he. All right. Yeah, because now that I think of it, you was a little kid to me. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like in that era, the Kwame era and all that. So I could see, but that's like dudes with the what's Master P's son, Lil
Romeo.
and Bow Wow, like Lil Romeo and Bow Wow, like it's dudes that like and what's his name, Superman.
Nah, but see, the thing about
no,
it
I'm
is,
saying it's dudes that grew up in that era were fans of them, whereas I was already a grown up. I couldn't get with it.
Right.
understood,
You understand
but
what I'm saying? Like I
with
could
your generation-
now. This
with
is what
your
I'm saying.
generation,
This is
with
why
your
I'm
generation going
reflecting.
early.
I can understand where you're coming from.
But what I'm saying is your generation made my generation grow up early. In 1990, I was 13. I was hanging out with niggas that was 17, 18. When I came home, all the niggas I was fucking with was 17, 18, 19 years
No,
old.
see, you couldn't hang out with me. It's too
The girl
young.
was older than 17.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that's why I said now that I look at it, I have to
Right.
from your perspective, of course, because you're nowhere near outside at that time. You're literally a little kid.
Right.
Literally a little
Oh,
kid.
you was outside.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah,
you
my
was
nigga, my mama
outside.
was at home.
No, but I'm saying you was outside, but you weren't outside yet.
Well, he was fresh off the porch, guys. Let's say fresh
Yeah,
off the
you
porch.
fresh off the porch.
No, I'm saying that
Bro,
my generation.
80, that's what I'm saying. 87, 88,
Hold on.
87, 88. No, you're the same age. This is what I'm saying. The
Understood,
same
but
age
what
my
I'm saying
younger
to you
brother.
is that most
Look.
of my friends were already dead by 16.
Right.
So by 1994, most of my friends was already dead, already finished off. In
Bro,
94.
we're talking about the 80s though.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
open up the
saying.
bin
When
outside
we
of
the medallion shit, that was the 80s. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. You were literally a little kid. Literally. 77. Go 77. Go to 88 from 77. You're
I'm
11
11 years old.
You're literally a little
And I've
kid.
already been to a funeral, Gutter. What are you talking about? My
That
man
has
even
nothing to
got
do with
logos.
nothing, bro.
No, but
This
that
is
has
what
a
I'm-
lot to do with it because the context, the
God.
11-year-old
You're
would
not
necessarily
understanding
live
the
in
context,
is
bro.
not what I lived
As
in.
an 11-year-old, no matter what you've seen, you're still a little kid. You're viewing the world as a little kid. You want to do little
Okay.
kid shit. You don't want to do adult shit. You
Nah,
want to
and that's
still
the
watch
point I'm trying to
cartoons.
make to you. You're not
Were you
listening
still
to
watching
what I'm saying,
cartoons
bro.
at 11?
No, listen to what you listen.
I'm
By the
asking
time
you
I
a
was 11,
question,
I was
brother.
getting mugged. What are you talking
Huh?
about?
I
By the
don't.
time I was 11, I was getting mugged in the street. What are you talking about?
But I don't
Not
want
by
to
no-
move
and
too
not
far
by no
from the
kids.
topic.
You're
Like, no.
losing my point, brother.
No.
You're
Understand,
losing
we have
my
a
point.
We have a generational
A
conflict.
very big generational gap for the
Absolutely.
streets, brother. You
But-
are 2 generations behind me.
Okay.
And we
In the
know
street.
street
the
years is
In
like
the streets. You're
But-
2 generations behind me in the streets, brother.
Mhm.
This is what I'm telling you. So you absolutely couldn't see nothing I saw the way I saw it. We had entirely 2 different perspectives. This is what I'm telling you, brother.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to divulge to you is that sometimes some generations get hyperized and get sent into situations that they were. So most of my
I
friends was
understand
already,
that, brother.
right. So when
But
you
this
got to
is what
understand
I'm
that most of
telling
my
you where
friends
I was agreeing with you at. Where I retracted what I said. I said I see your perspective. Brother, you arguing with me about something I'm agreeing with you back. But you're not listening to what I'm saying. I agree with your perspective because at that time, 88, for the little kids that you saw, That's what they were wearing. Bro, you know how old I was in 88? I was 19. I was just coming home from jail.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a big. But I don't, because I want to keep it here, but not here in terms
of street generations behind me. So what I'm saying is, our perceptions were entirely different.
Sure, right. But what I'm trying to let me make my point.
And then so I'm gonna ask y'all another question.
The things that my generation did, the younger kids behind us are more advanced because they saw more, because more things were uninhibited to them than what to me. So they're faster. They understand. They're already processing things like death and bills and shit like that because they already have responsibilities that are way beyond their years. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I can see that point
to a degree, and
that's all I'm saying.
Because some of them are slower.
Yeah, but so back to the knowledge.
This is what I'm saying. The generation behind you is a lot of slow ones.
Yeah, but I want to get in this area. Let me say this real quick.
That's why I said I understand your perspective because it goes both ways.
Yes, and Gutter, with that right there, the perspective, because we're talking about God bodies, we're talking about 5%, we're talking about Fat Joe using the language. Knowledge of self, because that's all the perspective is, the way you see things. As we opened up with today's mathematics, and then we know the follow-up is, well, how do you see today's mathematics? Your perspective. So from each of y'all, Knowledge Born been kind of quiet for a minute. Y'all just had a mic. Knowledge of self, Knowledge Born, knowledge of self. What does it mean to you? How do you see it? And then I want to give it to Oba and Gutter.
I wrote this book. From Nameless to Knowledge, this shirt I got on right here.
Right.
It's a collection of my inheritance from what I received from the people who came before me. My mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, my great-grandmother, great-grandfather. This culture is inherited through my family through different means. The first time I heard the black man was God was from my uncle. He's a pastor at the Universal Hager Spiritual Church. In their bylaws, you could look them up right now. We believe God is man and man is God. You understand? So if you just thought you was going to church, that's what you got. But they were dealing with the spiritualism culture that Oba lived. You understand what I'm saying? So this is 70 years in my family. So I'm talking about gleaning from perspective of what this means. And at 15, the reverend from the church told my mother when she was 15, you done here. Go to Islam. And when she went to Islam, she met my father. So that civilization goes to show if you don't know what's in your family, you don't know who you are. Just like if you don't know how the systems in your body work, you don't know. You'll be thinking like, my family was deaf, dumb, and blind. You a fool to even think that. But folks have become popularized with saying stupid stuff like we not our ancestors. You understand what I'm saying? All of that because you're disassociated. So the real robbery of self is not knowing who you are and where you come from. If you can't trace your family roots back, then somebody can hit you with the trick bag because they got hustlers on every corner. Somebody out to get you. You understand? So this association with going back to family. You know, last time we was here, I was talking about the power of black family. They're commodity. They're here to siphon, to rob, to steal. You know, the essence of black family because they know the black family is not only power, it's powerful. So if they can interject some of this, trick knowledge in there, where like look unlike and unlike look like, you're gonna be dealing with those things on the forepart, scrambling when you're supposed to be dealing with the best part. We have yet to see the best part of ourselves. So Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said one of the goals of knowledge of knowing who you are was money, good homes, and friendships from all walks of life. Yes, you know what I'm saying? So money, good homes, friendships from all walks of life. So money, he got a chance to show you value in you. to extrapolate those things because people were not reading. So he was literally paying people to read. Then he was paying people to memorize. In order for you to come into this association, there were strict laws that you had to adhere to. So we're not lawless running around. That's a large misconception that's associated with the nation of God's and earth. So all our 5%, depending on how you style it, that we don't deal with no law. We're under universal law. You have dietary restrictions. You have all kinds of things. You can't just be lawless out here because you a savage in pursuit of happiness. So what's the meaning of civilization? You see what I'm saying? Knowledge and having knowledge and wisdom, and one not a knowledge, wisdom, power and refinement, and not a savage in pursuit of happiness. You see what I'm saying? So a savage is one who has lost the knowledge of himself and living a beast life. So we got folks living a beast way of life. That's why they talking about they beast and I'm on demon time and all of these things. So a place of restoration has to come back in regards to where they see themselves as valuable and the people that they come from. So that the people that they're bringing forth, they already come in, the situation with value, and they don't seek validation outside of the circumference of self and outside of the circumference of their family. So they won't be out here like Bruce Leroy, going up to the Asian man saying he's looking for the master. You understand what I'm saying? So you out there with the karate shoes on, and they got the kufi on and the dashiki talking about you too square, man. You understand what I'm saying? So that space of cultural misappropriation, we have to return and restore the value to where it returns to the essence where we are valuable to one another. So knowledge of self realigns one in a cultural space to where we become cultural vanguards and not culture bandits where we selling this off to the highest bidder and people get to run with it. I yield.
No doubt. Gutter, knowledge yourself. The way you see it.
Like he said, knowing your people's history, and then knowing yourself and your tendencies, because you know what I'm saying, and you looking to master that, and from that the larger community, like you want to know, you know what I mean,
right?
Because like I said before, if you have an understanding of your people's history and not just your specific bloodline, but you know what I'm saying, the original people as a whole, then you understand like what we capable of.
Right. Knowing your limits.
Yeah. We're knowing we don't have no limits.
That part. Right.
You
there.
see what I'm saying? If you just look at wherever we went on this planet, bro, we don't have no limits.
Right. There's nothing we can't do or haven't done.
Yeah. Brother, so when we see that, we know that, like, even though we're in a society that's, basically built for our destruction, that's why we still surviving now, and for some people thriving.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's so important that we protect our culture, because again, like I said, our culture is our shield, it's our fence, it's our vanguard. Brother Oba, we talking knowledge yourself, right? And Brother Knowledge Born did say the black man is God. That's something we were taught. But what we see right now is so many people allowed to join the nation of gods and earth, whether they represent or misrepresent. Give me your perspective on knowledge yourself.
Well, from a local me perspective, we get our knowledge of self from the Orisha Oshun. And Oshun is the deity of the river. And it talks about how the first human being, like the first time someone looked in the river, because the river was the first mirror, that they saw themselves and became, what they talk about in Kwanzaa, self-determined, right? So that I allow myself to necessarily decide what I look like and how I present myself to the world, and what I want to be perceived as opposed to people grooming me, right? Because before the mirror, people, like apes, you groom each other. But when Oshun looked in the mirror and saw in the river and saw herself, She became aware of herself. And being aware of oneself, now you have to be responsible for oneself, right? So that's what the problem is with our desires. You have to, it's not nothing wrong with having desires, is to control them. They say it's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? And so we've given up our value system to luxury, so that we think that this car drives better than that car, these clothes are better than this clothes, and these items will necessarily make us who we want the world to perceive us to be. But when you get down to the very basics, which is like food, clothing, and shelter, right? Then you become liberated from the ideals of consumerism and all of that, so that you don't have to chase anything, because as long as you have what you require, which is food in the house, the rent is paid. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I got a couple of dollars to do a little bit of something afterwards. It's not that bad, because I have all of my needs. You feel me? And too much, I think we be looking for our desires over our needs. So this is why somebody could necessarily not pay the rent, but they got a motherfucking Gucci suit and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they would rather have the perception of what the world looks at them as, which is as opposed to the truth of what their real circumstances. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, because you did say some things about, because I'm big on quality. You brought up cars. I do think some cars do drive better than others. I'll take a Benz over a Ford, a particular Ford. Let me say that. I don't think I'm gonna trade in a Mercedes Benz C-Class for Focus or something like that. You know what I mean? We know that some clothes have better quality, made of better material. Like when we talk about Ralph, it ain't just because it's Ralph Lauren, but we know that he used quality fabric when the clothes are made. Black people, again, we have this idea that something costs more is better rather than look at the quality of something. How do we take our knowledge, transform it into a quality value system for us to work on ourselves? To your point, you know what I'm saying? We have to see the value of self, knowledge of self. How do we translate that into becoming a tool to help move the community forward, be an asset to our family and a tool to move our community forward? Because with this knowledge we have, and again, shout out to Fat Joe. I'm glad he did that. It brings the conversation on the table. And for those who ask, no Gutter don't got no beef with Fat Joe. Somebody put that in the comment. Is Gutter beef? No, it's not. This is
hold on. Who said that?
I don't remember. You know what I'm saying?
I don't got no beef with Joe, man.
Right.
Yeah, I fuck with Joe.
Right, and that's why I put that out there, Gutter, because it was a whole nother conversation going on.
I can make an analysis of something I see, and it's just the analysis that I have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to stand for it.
Right. Far from that, my nigga. I don't got no beef with nobody. But this the thing. I'm like, we on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? And we're making analysis.
Right. That's it.
And because I've been around the industry, I can speak on certain things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not look at what I said. Like, my nigga, if I had beef with him, I would have been saying, nah, Joe was pussy and da 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 da. Look what I said,
or wouldn't even got on the camera.
Yeah.
Just
look, right, but
it
ain't. I said he was probably one of them little ignorant dudes, and from the way he described it, don't give a fuck. Nigga, I'm gonna get my ass whipped. We're gonna fight. I'm fighting. I'm gonna fight you every day.
Right.
And like I said, to a degree, that's how I was.
Right.
I was around dude. I don't have no old
to watch the show. Hopefully they get it on the playback.
Yeah.
But that's why I put it out for the record.
But I used to be an annoying little dude around older dudes. Dudes wanted to fuck me up all the time. But I'm gonna fight.
But I mean to say crack him Allah. I mean that crack him great God Allah.
That's crazy.
That's wild. And didn't even say I was.
And he should be chastised for that, my nigga. It's like, come on, bro.
And all this is a critical analysis of us four here on the panel, those who think like us. At what point do we start protecting our values, our culture? Because this is something all four of us are familiar with.
If you seen the guy selling crack and he was Joey Crack, quote unquote. What else is he going to do? So,
Right.
there's a group of young cats. I came up with gods and older gods and younger gods. I didn't come up with no, little niggas. You understand? I didn't come up with none of that. Like they might have existed, but they ain't exist in this ecosystem. You know what I mean? So I don't have a frame of reference from that. Like the people who once they came into this particular culture, they changed. And there was a change, there was a transformation. They wasn't backsliding. So for other people, they got heroin addicts, they got crackheads, they got cokeheads that was that came up in this culture. So this is their socialization. So they was using the drugs and they were selling the drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So either way it went, it becomes something. So whether they was God body, whether they was Muslim, you understand? Like whether they was Israelite, whatever their source of light was, at one point within them, it wasn't strong enough to withstand those demons you was talking about, that SP was talking about. So whatever their situation was, that's what it was. So a space of redemption. So you get a space of grace. You understand what I'm saying? You get a grace period for you to be able to clean yourself up. So it take a group of people. My mother, her job wouldn't exist as an herbalist. You understand? Like I seen her pull out valerian root, and that was the only thing that got a notepad out of a knot. You understand? Like you know how powerful a valerian root got to be for you to. It's like the smelling salts. You get knocked out, and they hit you with the smelling salt out of a nod. You understand? Her and my father walked the streets of New York and New Jersey doing their duty as civilized people. You understand what I'm saying? So I was born out of that, literally and figuratively. So that was my space, but I wasn't, displaced to what was going on around me. It's just my mission was higher than what the environment was yielding. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to sort of return in that way to truly be the vanguard. If we're gonna be the vanguard, You can't be coming out here with your dirty religion disguised as this. If you doing that, you doing that. You ain't doing this.
Knowledge right
you
there.
Understand?
Right there. Your dirty religion. Because I mean, again, shout out to Fat Joe. He said his name was Crack Kim Allah. Back then, we knew guards that did the 1-2s. They hustled on the block. They kept it discreet. Like I said earlier, they kept it because we all got this road we have to walk in. None of us perfect. And at least speaking for myself, I know I'm working on my character, trying to develop it to the best of my ability. I'm not the man I'm gonna be in 10 years from now. I'm working to be a better man. You know what I'm saying? But that mix of poison, because to have a righteous name was your attribute, and you had to walk as straight as you could in that. But then to put crack on top of that, something that in the 80s we knew was literally destroying our community. We didn't understand the impact because we was looking at the money. Who really, in y'all perspective, any one of y'all can answer, who do y'all think would really let that rock? And do you think he should have qualified that with, I was playing, or I didn't know no better because the guards I knew really took this serious, so I don't want y'all to think that I was just running rampant being crazy? Because I mean
85% of the gods would accept that. I'm gonna be straight up. 85% of the gods would accept that because they were like, oh, whatever. And then you got the 10% of the gods that's like, oh, well, somebody need to break me off something from that. You out here running around. Because, case in point, real quick, Rakim, one of his albums, the last one that he came out with, he had one of the album covers had the universal flag on it. Come on, we all know Rakim and knowledge himself. That's how most folks got knowledge himself. You seen him with the 8-ball jacket with the universal flag on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's not running away from that. He got universal flag in the video. Second dude to do it after King Son. King Son, I believe, he was the first one that had the universal flag in the video. So he got the flag in the video. There's no hiding about what it was. You understand what I'm saying? So, and he conducted himself in that manner. You understand what I'm saying? Now I learned to earn because I'm righteous. You understand? So that's what it was. That became the push, right? So there was a album cover promo thing that came out and had the flag on it, and the gods went crazy about it. You understand what I'm saying? They went crazy about it. It was a subset of cats who went crazy about it. Oh, you know, why would they put our flag of our nation on there and blah, blah, like all of that foolishness, right? So that's the 10%. There's a 5% that exists that would use these opportunities to come teach. You understand what I'm saying? So that 85% is whatever. The 10% is going to be on some bloodsucker, the poor shit, and then the true and living is going to be true and living regardless of what. So we're going to come and pull up and do what we are, because the 5% is there's characteristics and traits. Who are the 5% or the poor part of the planet Earth? You understand what I'm saying? Civilized persons. You understand? Civilized persons. So if you present yourself as a civilized person and you operate as a civilized person, you one of the 5% of the poor part of the planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? Muslims and Muslim sons. If y'all don't know who Muslim sons is, that's another discussion. But what I'm saying is these are people that are readily identifiable because they are following tenets that govern their behavior. That's a standard to their conduct. There's a standard to their interface and how they're supposed to interface with the world. But if they civilized persons out here acting savage, or they Muslims who out here having a way with young children or whatever the hell wickedness that they be doing, you understand what I'm saying? And then the Muslim sons, if they doing these things in secret and they dealing with that, you know, dirty religion, they're not a part of the 5%. They become the 10%. You understand what I'm saying? So you would have to know that these characteristics and traits, and there's a bunch of debates that's baseless that's going on in regards to that, but they're plain. That's very plain. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know what a civilized person look like, you the fucking problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you can't tell the difference between that, you need to chill and go back and do the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Look, listen, observe, learn, most of all, respect. You know what I mean? So regardless to what the perspective is, your culture shapes your worldview. Shout out to Third Black Talk. Worldview shapes your worldview. It's your immune system. So when you ailing out here, you're supposed to be able to rely on this culture to uplift you and get you back right. You understand what I'm saying? So if you live in a dirty religion, then your culture is a vice. You're gonna go to a vice. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna go get advice. You're gonna go to your vice. So whatever your vice is, that's gonna be your sixth. Something you can't rise above. It's above you.
Yeah. Gutter, what's some of the things you think? Because now we having this conversation, because you know, you and I, we always have constructive conversations, building and stuff like that. What's some of the things you think we can do as a community that can move this conversation forward, get our people back into the knowledge of self? As our brother Knowledge Born said, when you got the knowledge, you walk in it. Nobody can look at you and tell who you are. You just move a particular way that's conducive to what you believe in. How can we incorporate that and help lift our community and move it forward? Your thoughts?
Oh, shit. You gotta get the knowledge of self. Like, and parenting plays a part.
Definitely.
Both mothers and fathers. If you outside all the time, how you gonna teach the youngin'?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we so traumatized that people gotta party all the time.
Yeah.
Thinking that's going, you know what I'm saying?
Alleviate the pain.
Yeah, but actually it's just going deep in the pain, because the next generation that's coming behind you is gonna suffer. Like we seeing that right now.
I agree with that.
Like how many young kids that's like really illiterate, can't read, you know, that shit is an epidemic. And I know two people that work in schools and shit. You know what I'm saying? That this is what they tell them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Teenagers, not little kids. This day in high school.
Wow.
So You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like it's not all the kids.
All the kids, right? Definitely not.
But
it's more than too many right now.
Yeah, it's too many. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's too many of them. We got too many. You got too many teenagers that don't know shit. And then when you got people in college that don't know shit because look at the information that they're looking for
and looking at.
They're not looking to be educated. You know what I'm saying? Because the deuce is to break everything down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to get an education, you got to break everything down so even the smallest child can understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not doing that. We're being trained for specific tasks.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So they not like I don't think you can even, like I said, it's parenting more than that, because you got to expose the brilliance in your child. Like I said, the people that they took, bro, like I said, whether it's to the Caribbean, South America, or here, South and Central America, you know what I'm saying? The Americas, period, in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
They brought like half of the brilliance of the continent. You know what I'm saying? The genius is like it's running through our veins. So it's like we the reason the United States is where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? So through our brilliance that they capitalize on.
Right. I want Oba to jump in here too. Oba, with some strategies, we can do to, and when I say we, I mean those of us on the panel, those of us on the live, those on the playback, those who have a voice, the rappers, the artists, the people that say they want to see the community better. With some strategies you do.
Well, they say integrity is when you do the right thing when ain't nobody looking, right? And so, if we like you said, like there's too much focus on celebration. What are we celebrating? Like you see the junior high school, prom shit, they going all out like this is the last time they're gonna take pictures of this little kid. And that's what ends up happening. That we end up with just a junior high school picture or something, because a lot of us get cut down because of the lifestyle. So if the women were to not be on their phones and, like you said, teach their children how to read, hug their children, have affection for their children beyond them just being babies, because they like them when they're babies, and after they get 5 or 6, then they're a problem. Now they don't want to be bothered with them. And, it's just everybody want to be outside. Everybody want to be a part of the scene. But the scene is just a destructive scene.
The fathers too.
Right. I'm saying, but everybody wants to be in the scene.
If you bring in, you know what I'm saying? And I done been guilty of this in my younger age. If you bring in the kids to where you doing your thing, you out of order, my nigga.
Yeah. And that's for the brothers. He's talking to the brothers.
Well, I don't speak on that because I don't have no children.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I've been guilty of that, my nigga. This is what I'm saying. I've been guilty of that. So I'm telling you, like, nigga, that's out of order.
I didn't have no children because I was traumatized.
We not.
Feel me? I didn't think
that. Say it again, Oba.
I said I didn't have no kids because I was traumatized. Like I just didn't see bringing children into this world because, like I said, I was traumatized and I didn't realize that I was depressed for so many years. By the time that I got to 30, I didn't know what the fuck to do because I didn't know that I was going to make it to 30. So I had no plan because everybody I knew was dying. And then even in my 30s, some niggas was getting caught up in stupid shit. So this idea of this death culture, it doesn't give you a long, you know what I'm saying, goal. You don't have any long-term goals. So you just living in the moment. And so if we necessarily have some ideas about living beyond just today, because that's why niggas be partying. They be partying like it's 1999, like tomorrow they're not going to be here. You feel me? And if we get rid of that death culture.
No, that's, like I said, that's historical trauma. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, I'm not, now don't get me wrong, that's no excuse. But like I'm saying, if you understand your trauma, then you could deal with your trauma.
Right, and we
you know what I'm saying?
too long we didn't
But
address it. I went through life like not knowing that I was depressed.
Nigga, I ain't address it for why you think I was outside like that? Like that's why most of us was outside like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's because of the traumas. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. You see how Knowledge Born said how he came up
in the knowledge.
So he didn't have to experience the traumas we experienced being ignorant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We may had a certain amount of knowledge because I don't think no little black kid wasn't proud to be black. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows until we come in contact with our oppressors, you know what I'm saying, in the educational system is when the lack of self-esteem comes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Studies
in order to
on that.
heal the
What I'm
children,
saying is
the
like
parents, though.
is like I'm saying is like I said, it's out of it's lack of knowledge. When you gain knowledge of self, that's when, just like he said, when you gain knowledge of self, that's when you have to act accordingly, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I
like you said, like no, like don't get it wrong. I'm not saying that we still, because we still have trauma we dealing with. So that means it's not going to be no automatic cutoff switch,
right,
with certain shit.
But we need a starting point.
But you employ it. When you employ it, then it becomes easier.
Right.
Just like you said, like when you start losing that desire for all the material stuff, what you said, you had less depression. It's the same thing, exactly what he's saying, brother. Yeah, exactly. But we just saying it in different ways. You know, it's the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with them traumas, but once you become aware, you know what I'm saying? This is when you work on, you know what I'm saying? That's when you work on doing better. Because
also you work and walk people through doors that they had never been walked through before. So you
each one teach
as
one.
a priest, you were going through things in preparation for the work you're doing for the rest of your life.
Right.
A cat can't come to you with $1 billion and have you walk away from what you walking people through. You deal with people that they may not even know a side of their family, and they start getting into spiritualism, and then they get answers that they didn't have. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got to be there when they come into it, because they about to fall out now. Like, I ain't know my father's side or my, or my mother's side or no sides. You understand? Dealing with people who ain't have no identity. They just change ages. They don't even know their real birthday type situation. So a lot of that stuff that you felt was in preparation, because if you came in contact with it without it, you might be affected by it on a greater degree than the degree that you are affected by it. You understand what I'm saying? So you walking people through their real life and the life of the people who came before them, who waiting on them, who nudging at them like, yo, blah, blah, blah. So you was rebellious. So the people you come in contact with, when you catch them, they rebellious. You understand what I'm saying? 25th hour, like you're talking about. So a lot of these things, we have to relate these things together. I wasn't, ambivalent to what was going on, again, in my environment. A cat came up to me and wanted my brother hand-me-down shoes. I had to wait 5 years to get these shoes. You understand? That was the one pair of Jordans I had growing up, and they was my oldest brother's shoes. And the cat like, what size is the shoes? I'm like, word? I'm in the house loving to learn black people and the culture and all of these things, and I go outside and I got to hook off on the cat who want my eldest brother's shoes. You understand what I'm saying? And they talk about my clothes. I ain't have no clothes. I have my eldest brother clothes. You understand? Like, so there was a difference in regards to it, but the socialization came when I seen the neighborhood and the people in the neighborhood versus the people who was at the school and all those things. And I had to learn that because that's the path of the people that you're going to interact with. Because there ain't no new people like it ain't no new water. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to deal with that space of civilization. So you got to go where the savages is at. You understand what I'm saying? To see if you really civilized or if they're going to turn you into savage. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful opportunity in regards to those worlds being together, because this is part of your reality. And then you want to see what we call Allah's world manifest. We want to envision a time that we put the work in where that don't exist. That's the thing that don't even exist in your genetic memory. You can't even think about it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a goal to push forward in regards to, cultural restoration in a way that these things become real. And our young people, our young minds, give them a chance to grow and flourish and not be typecast before they born. Because we got a movement that folks is laughing at and popularizing that want our children to be dead before they're born. You understand what I'm saying? So we really have
I
to.
gotta go, y'all. I gotta read them. Somebody waiting for me. I gotta go.
Yeah. Give your final words, Brother Oba, because we about to wrap up.
No, I just want to say, like I said last time, if we could break the cycle of paranoia and at least be civil with each other, that when we walk past each other, that we don't have to worry about each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then we could begin the discourse of taking that home and healing a lot of traumas. Because we walk outside and we be paranoid and we are adjacent. I mean, conflicted to one another. We see each other and we suspicious of each other and shit like that. And if we could necessarily minimize that, then we'll work towards the goal of unity, and then everything else after that comes. You know what I'm saying? It falls into place. You feel me?
Right, no doubt. Brother Oba, we definitely thank you for rocking out with us. You know what I'm saying? Go do your reading 1, 2. Where can the people follow you at?
Yeah, they could check me at Instagram at Ekun7, EKUN7, or Only Dina Productions on Instagram, or onlydinaproductions.com. For me, I got the books. We got the spiritualism classes. You know what I mean? If they need to get a consultation, they can, plug in with all of that. Yeah, we're grassroots right now. We're real small, but we're trying to work towards getting this farm and all that, so that we could feed some people and all that. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yo, everybody, y'all have a good week coming up, man, and I'll see y'all sooner than later.
No doubt, brother. We're gonna have you back again soon.
All right.
Peace, Brother Oba. That's our brother Oba. Yeah. But knowledge born. Like I said, we about to wrap up. Time is flying. What's some of the words you want to leave the people with? Some information. Tell the people where they can follow you. Tell them about your book real quick, your digital book real quick. Just give them the information so they can keep this conversation with you.
I wrote 12 books with Black people in mind, in particular Black youth, and these last 6 books are designed for the summertime. You know what I mean? The last time we was on here, the free breakfast, free lunch program, quote unquote, in the summertime, it was people in the neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? They found some food and they found somewhere to serve it. We ain't have no clocks. We ain't have no watches. You understand? We just knew by the time of the day to make our way to a place. And there was some people in our community that would feed us. And that was something in tradition that, I carried on throughout the pandemic. You understand what I'm saying? And face-to-face engagement. You could either use this time to be around your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, whomever, and look at them like bills, like liabilities, or look at them like assets. If you have that direct connection with them, this is the time to shore up your family. Y'all supposed to be having family discussions that's real. I wrote a book called The Power of Black Family, and I didn't skim by the trauma that we was discussing. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can make amends, right? In the 12-step program, they tell you, make amends for all those that you have wronged. If you can go back to your family, because we are harshest critics sometimes. They know everything you is or whatever they think you is. You understand what I'm saying? If you could go back and reconcile through past hurts and trauma and see each other as family members of one another in your household, you'll be more apt to deal with these things amongst the collective black family. Because regardless to whom or what, as black people, we are one people. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to work through our angst and all of those things. And it begins with ourselves, then it begins with our family. So, 12 book series. I got a special until August 1st, the start of Black August. You can get all 12 books for $100. If they hit me up, Do Knowledge Radio at Gmail or Do Knowledge Radio or Knowledge Monologue 357 on Instagram, and you hit me and Cash App or PayPal, and I'll send you the books. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you don't have the articulation or you don't have the time to do all that heavy lifting, these are 12 books that deal with all of the various aspects of our culture, including disaster preparation. You understand what I'm saying? Including disaster preparation. So from everything from entrepreneurship, how to, bring esteem and honor back into your family, how to honor your black, the black women in your life. You understand? Like the revolutionaries, thought and strategic minds that exist, the like the science, technology, engineering, art, agriculture, and mathematics. For the content creators out there, how to create outside of this devilish sort of allure that's there. You see what I'm saying? And then we deal with our educators, we deal with our scholars, and again, one of these standalone books is my own personal journey and my reflections. 100 personal reflections from the life that I lived. You understand what I'm saying? And then we deal with the militaristic sort of space in regards to the disaster preparedness, how to check your house, how to do a threat analysis, all these kinds of things. We see all of these preppers that don't look like us, that they have in place for their own people, but the preparations for how it comes to us is from somebody who look like us and somebody who loves us, who lives where we live, and have our best interests at heart. You understand what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Uncle Tad. Thank you, C Gutter, for this. I tune in every week. You understand what I'm saying? This my Sunday spot. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just glad and honored to be here.
We appreciate
with
you,
both of y'all adding on.
No doubt. Gutter, final words before we let the people go.
Like I said, bro, reiterate. I'll keep reiterating, my same thing. A lot of the stuff the younger people is following is not black culture, it's criminal culture. You know what I'm saying? So if we, like Knowledge Born said, if the people that's around them is instilling the true culture, you know what I mean? That's our obligation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I was looking at the comments. Sir God, Black Man, peace. Yeah, we here every Sunday, God. You know what I mean? We here every Sunday.
I'm gonna try to get another
2
brother.
to 3 or 2 to 4. It depends on how we, how deep the joint get.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just but that's our obligation, especially us that have been through the crucible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That if you've been through like that criminal culture, if you've been through that and you survive, it's like that's our duty to like put dudes on. And I don't think nobody that's, for the most part, people that been in it. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time they it started as a game. It's a game till it ain't a game. You know what I'm saying? And it gets serious. Once it gets serious, nobody really want to fuck. Like you don't really, but it is what it is.
Right.
So you survive that, you know what I'm saying? It's our duty, especially to pass on that information to the younger homies. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Like before you even jump off the porch, believe
know the rules of the game before you play.
Know the rules, and it ain't really for nobody.
Right. All right. I want to give a shout out to our usual suspects. Shout out to TJ, Queen Anusa Agnetti, our sister Tish, always on the check-in. Sister Farnessa, always holding us down. Our brother Professor Carl Tone Jones out of Philly. Our brother Rich Nice, definitely my sister K Fighter and Thorough Black Talk Worldview.
Whoever Boo Boo McGee said Fat Joe, is he really the God Allah?
I know that's crazy.
Negative. Y'all gotta look, y'all gotta see the whole whole story because it got context to it. If y'all would have caught us earlier, y'all would have seen the context.
Yeah, watch the playback.
Yeah, he basically said that, you know, he was like the little fat Spanish kid from Fresh. If anybody knows the movie Fresh, just before we get out of here, just like get everybody that information. He was like just
Chuck E. He said Chuck E.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, just annoying little kid from around the way that ain't give a fuck.
Let me tell the people though, if you don't see it in videos, go to live. When you go to our page, scroll over to the section that says live and you see all the videos because most of our videos are live videos. Again, shout out to Sister K Fighter, Thorough Black Talk Worldview. We on every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Where I seen she was going back and forth with some folks about FBA, people who don't know what FBA is or just think it's Tariq Nasheed. Tune in every Thursday, Thorough Black Talk. We go in about all of that, and then you.
Yeah, I was saying so. I was saying that too.
I didn't want to take away from the conversation we were having. Yeah, that's a whole.
It was a little spicy over there.
Oh yeah. But sister, they don't know Sister K Fighter and Sister Father.
They don't know.
Go to Thorough Black Talk. If you want to smoke some, there you go. It's all the smoke. Shout out to Junior's Towing for tapping in. I guess they from the Bronx, New Joe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely appreciate you for dropping by. Shout out to Superstar Rel, always holding us down, having our back. We definitely appreciate the love and support. Ball 730, 733. You new to the page. Thank you. Appreciate you. Please slide over to Thorough Black Talk every Thursday. You can continue this conversation with
and you can get some real information as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of shit y'all get off of the internet.
Shout out to Guinea Ophalucius. Shout out to Guinea. We appreciate you, Guinea Ophalucius, rocking out with us. Big O. Who else? I don't want to forget nobody. Of course, I said my sister Farnessa. Oh, definitely shout out to AI Matrix. Give a shout out. Who else I'm missing? Because a lot of people, the chat was lit. Chat, y'all was on fire today. We appreciate all that love and support. King Me, shout out to you. Sir God Black Man. That's Lil Tad on the 1 and 2s interrupting the flow. Yeah. Sir God Black Man.
C. Kelly.
Son from Brooklyn. Boo Boo Magoo. Fact son from Brooklyn. All right. So as we get up out of here, I just want to leave y'all with a quote real quick. Say each man is his own example. Your God knows who. Let me start that over. Say each man is his own example. Your God knows who of you walks the most straight on the path of righteousness. Today's about knowledge of self. We bringing this conversation to the forefront. Join us every Sunday at 2 p.m. as me and my brother Gutter go in on topics like this, what's affecting the culture, what's impacting the culture, as well as give a historical analysis to what's we up to.
You know, we might give y'all some hood analysis too.
Always the hood analysis.
I'm just saying it might be a subject where we just come on and just, you know, not just shoot the shit, but we just, like just give you some hood shit where, you know, it's gonna be a teaching moment anyway. So it's never gonna be just, you know what I'm saying, or some shit just that this was funny.
Yeah,
you know, like I said, I told you, bro, I crack jokes all day, my nigga.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
thank y'all for tuning in. I gotta get back to my son, Young Taz. Shout out to him. All right. So, y'all catch us here every Sunday, 2 p.m. Don't forget to tune in to Thorough Black Talk Worldview on YouTube every Thursday at 8 p.m. So,
bro,
y'all
stay up. When is y'all, my nigga? Yeah. When is y'all calling me up?
You know what? Me and Sister K Fighter, we gonna put it in the chat. Me, you, Sister K Fighter. We gonna chat it up. All right? Yeah. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true, and remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there are always better days ahead. Peace to the family.